economy wise and everything like that. I just thought that any information that could be said, especially when he sat there and said, and I quote, "This stays between you and I," and not a day later, he's already spreading the information that, that I knew who Matthew was the whole time when, yeah, I did. Yeah, I fabricated, lies to tell him to get him off my back. But to sit there and to go and tell civilians that, and to sit there to make not just myself look bad, but the whole rest of the department look bad. So it goes to my case to how I told Steele here and Weber here. And I believe you were standing up against the wall when me and Weber here were having a conversation. I said that he was a liability weeks ago. And I just got laughed at, got yelled at by Dietz for saying that. And look where we're at now. And my next question is, why is the head of SWAT sitting here leading a GIU/CID investigation? Especially when he's this deep into it. The targets of the investigation from the other side. So why is he sitting here investigating it? He needed to be excused. He needed to excuse himself, or he needed to be benched. But yet he continued to push. And then Steele here said that he was sitting here pursuing it off duty. Off duty, we're a civilian. We shouldn't be pursuing anything. We should be reporting it, because as law enforcement officers, we are obligated by law to report any crimes that we see. And yet, he's sitting here, he's pursuing it off duty. When I departed for the 3 days, I didn't pursue anything off duty. I was just trying to find Matthew because I knew what was going to happen.
I mean, that day we found you, I was off duty, but...
I wasn't pursuing an investigation because I wasn't included in any investigation.
Yeah.
It was just Jeff and him and his buddies, Stark, Hondo, and you all pursuing the investigation when I was the lead investigator, and Jeff knew that back in our other department. And I quote, and I'm going to quote him when I told him that, he's going to be like, well, you're a cop. You don't need to be a part of the investigation to set forth information. Okay, so why are you, the head of SWAT, sitting here running the investigation yourself? Someone who is antagonizing, giving verbal and text message threats that we could subpoena from Matthew's phone as we speak. That could also play into how everything looks here.
Yeah, we're gonna have to subpoena his phone. So Dietz doesn't have the right to privacy because he's a police officer. So he doesn't have the right to remain silent. He has to answer for this.
I will say this. I saw Mr. Matthews' body, aka Mateo Crow, whatever you want to call him. I mean, from what I've known so far, local forensics do have all of his information and/or his belongings. If you need me to get into contact with somebody to get those belongings, I can. But as far as I know, I believe EMS has them down in the morgue still in an evidence bag. But like I said, I will give any statements that you guys need me to give. As I've told people before, Jeff has confided in me, and then he told me that he's told the 3 civilians so far. It's Ember, Blackheart, Bobby Reginald, and Mimsy Falcon. I don't know if there's anyone else, because they're all kind of, close, they're a pretty close, tight group when they go at the VU or Auto Exotic. So Lord knows how much people know.
I will let you guys know I talked to Dietz a few days ago when Martin approached me.
And
And I did tell him that he needed to quit getting civilians involved. And to do the investigations, the PD with them, questionings and anything.
But-
has he done that since?
Well, I got approached by my brother yesterday saying that he had a conversation with Dietz and that Dietz told him that, you know, that he had the conversation with me, which caused me to leave and everything like that. I don't know if Dietz told my brother the information behind the conversation, but I mean, this is another person along with an individual who was asked to not be involved into this because they just don't feel comfortable.
So Dietz did ask me if he could talk to your brother, and it was confirmed by myself and Dietz that he would not have any conversations about any. He would not release any information that wasn't already public.
Did you make him sign an ROI or anything that states that?
I did not because we
Okay.
were in the car.
Okay.
However, he did agree, and I do have it on body cam.
Okay.
And to explain to you, Lilith, to the reason to why I'm here. I just don't know if I can sit here and I can trust any information that, you know, I put within, you know, CID case files, within IA case files or anything like that, because I don't know what's going to be leaked and what's not going to be leaked. I just have no trust at this point, especially when he tells me in a conversation that we have at the hospital, and I quote, "It stays between you and I. No one else." And he just goes and leaks the information.
I mean, Ember and Mimsy were in the station when I was chewing Jeff's ass out about the situation that he had with Miss Hawes. They were sitting just in the station. Like, he drove them here. Why he couldn't have said, hey, you know, go get a car, or where can I take you so I can go to the precinct? I have no idea. No idea.
And I hate to be the person to sit here and to, you know, bring this information towards you guys, because the last person that I want to get in trouble is Jeff. But he's got to fucking learn. He down spiraled in the other department. And he's gotten worse now. I just thought, you know, age and time would have sat there and fixed these issues, but clearly not. And the last thing that we need is another officer to get killed, because honestly, it might not be his fault. But at the end of the day, we have to look at it at all perspectives. Because what if he didn't pursue Mateo like he did? Maybe Chris wouldn't have came around.
Yeah.
Speaking of a dead officer, when's Thorne's funeral? Do we have a
So
date on that?
I am working on planning something. I have not put anything in stone yet, and I have not released a date.
Understood. Just figured I'd bring it up real quick while we were talking about it.
Well, you guys do what you gotta do. With me being Dietz's acting partner, I'm going to have to excuse myself from the disciplinary side of things due to conflicts of interest.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of how we. Shit.
Y'all tell me what to do. I'm here to listen or do whatever you need me to do.
We need Bobby Reginald and we need Sadie in an
You
interrogation
mean
room at the
Mimsy,
same
sir?
time. Mimsy.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. You should probably bring everyone he's had contact with that's a civilian. And that would mean, I know that he's had conversation with Sadie. I know that he's had conversation with Memsy.
I'll-
girl, Bobby.
I can grab Mimsy.
How about say I can go grab Mimsy?
Yeah,
and
I
Bobby.
can
They
grab.
should be
I'll
able
talk to Mimsy. Give me a caller down now, sir.
We
Okay,
we
I'll wait
need
then. I'll
all
wait.
three of them. Because I don't want them talking to each other.
Okay.
Don't want them letting know Deets that telling Deets that they're on the way down here.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I won't contact her then until we're done talking, or you guys are done talking to Deets.
I'd rather have them picked up at the same time and brought in at the same time.
Understood.
And just, for security and, confidentiality behind all conversations, once you guys do bring Jeff in here and have the conversation with him, anything pertinent to the investigation of Crow and into himself needs to be kept to himself. He cannot release any information.
Well, at that point, he's going to be suspended pending investigation, and anything comes out beyond that, then we may not have a choice but to let him go, Hate to say that, but because I don't want to really say that, but I need a freaking drink.
I mean,
I might give me one of them cigarettes. I tell you what, give me one of them cigarettes.
as an officer that used to work for this department,
Thanks.
as he used to say, when you make your bed in the morning, you got to lay in it at night. And unfortunately, it's nighttime and he's got to lay in it.
Yeah.
All right. You want to do this thing?
So does he need a union rep? I mean,
I don't think you can.
well,
be
I'm
all-
not. I'm not going to ask to be a union rep, but
Yeah.
I
Well, I know-
got a
I
request.
know.
Can I please be there when you talk about the investigation, since I know everything about the Crow? And I'll give any test. Yeah, I can testify, statements, whatever you want.
so no,
Well,
no, he's gonna
you
reach
better
out to me.
pour a
after
tall
that.
glass of bourbon, Weber, because it's gonna be a little long conversation.
What were you saying,
gonna
Lola?
need
He's
that
gonna
too.
he's gonna reach out to me, and I'm gonna have to tell him he needs to get a union rep during the investigation process.
All right.
I didn't.
Lily,
know
where do you wanna go?
Unionized? Yes. Yet.
Well, I mean, a union rep's basically that's a lawyer for the police.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, he's just going to need to get a lawyer at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I'll continue to
Whatever.
go on.
You want to sit here at the precinct? Do you want to find a room and chill out for a bit, or you want to go?
I mean, I'll just leave. I mean, I don't think I'm needed anymore. They
Okay.
have my side of the story.
All right. If
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Alrighty. Well, I appreciate you guys hearing me out, and I really hope that this is what's best for the department, not what's best for a single individual. And he needs to have that objective mindset and realize that, and not, make it all about himself, which is what he's gonna do. I bet you.
Well, four of us have a history with Deets for a long time, and that's going to make it really difficult.
That's why I'm choosing to excuse myself from the
Yeah,
investigation.
thanks
I'll be here
for
when
putting
you
it
talk
on
to
our
him.
shoulders. I appreciate that.
I'll do whatever you want. I'll give the hard news. I don't give a fuck.
Well,
I've done it before. Steele, you've done it before. I'm sure Weber, you've done it before. I don't mind. If it needs to be said, it needs to be said.
I mean, I've done it before too, but I just don't want conflict of interest.
Yeah, I understand.
I agree. I agree.
which is
I'm
why
not
I-
beating you up about that. I just think that us as the command leadership need to be pretty united on it.
You guys want me to put on my pretty white shirt? No, I'm kidding. Sorry. I just wanted to lighten up the situation a little bit.
Oh,
I just
that's fine.
I have a white shirt.
know
Steele was
you
like,
do.
Steele said,
I've seen
take that
it.
fucker off. I was like, I'm
I've
sorry.
seen it.
I said,
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. I mean, I'll wear it if you want me to look more uniformed, as Weber said.
Bump back down to forever cadet.
Hey, man. I'll wear whatever you tell me to wear, boss.
And just so that you guys know that since technically I am on an unofficial LOA, that I have told Jeff to stay away from me. So if it becomes to the point to where it seems it's harassment and he's trying to come at me, I'll let you know, but I don't think it's going to get to that point.
Where is
I
Jeff?
don't think it will either.
Jeff's at the precincts. He's in here somewhere. Lilith, do you want to escort Julie out? That way, there's
Yeah,
no.
Jim.
Myself.
Well, I don't want any altercations to happen. You know what I mean? Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. If you guys
Alrighty.
need, do you guys want me to like walk back up, or like do you want me to come in the room when I'm done walking her out, or you want me to wait?
I think we have what we have. And
You're just gonna be quick. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Already.
All right. Sounds good.
Why am I?
I'll be here when you guys do, but I'm gonna have a seat on the couch.
Yeah. I'll text him. No, I'm not gonna text him.
Okay.
Sure.
100, 102. 100, 102. Have Run DJ in my office, please.
Yeah.
Have Run DJ in my office, please.
Yep. What's up? What's up? Enough with the silent treatment. What's up? Brian. Is someone gonna fucking talk? What's going on? What's up, Tyler? In a meeting. All right. So, can we fucking like get a little bit of this ball rolling? I know that he had a pretty headache, but 102, I'm off the radio.
I don't like nobody playing on my phone. She a fucking klepto. I don't consider them my sister. Are we done yet? I gotta go.
Welcome back.
Thank you, thank you. All right.
So what's up?
Anything y'all talked about anything since I've been gone?
Nope. I've been fucking sitting here on fucking pins and needles.
All right. It's come to our attention that some information has gotten out that shouldn't have been.
Like what?
Concerning the
Just
Crow.
shoot straight. Just
Concerning the
shoot straight.
Crow. Concerning the Crow.
Okay.
I'm shooting you straight as I can right now. Let me say this first off. So first off, you know this. You're a police officer. You do not have the right to remain silent. You do not have the right to.
No, we're not doing
Attorney
that.
present,
Just Steele, if you got something to say, just fucking say it.
Deets were sidelining you because we've had some things that were said that we can't overlook. We have to address. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to bench you because there's too much shit being done off duty.
What shit off duty? I haven't done anything on this investigation off duty.
Really.
I mean, unless y'all fucking know something that I don't, that I wasn't fucking aware of.
So we have to investigate what's going on. We have.
What's the claim? I'll be straight with
reason
you.
to believe that citizens have been privy to information about
What
this
information?
case that should not have been. However, did I say that accurately enough?
What information is being said that had got? We could just cut it out. I don't have anything to hide. What information? Okay, so then ask. What information? You guys are dancing around it. Stop dancing around it. I've been in y'all's shoes. Say
There's a
it.
difference from dancing around it and giving you information. At this point, we have to We have to get every side. We're not trying to be accusatory. We have to take steps to protect our department, to protect you, to protect everybody involved. Everybody involved. And this situation with the crow,
I know what it was. If them two were in there, I know what it was.
what do you think it was?
I think it was me talking to Ember when I found out Matthew's name. And what happened when I went up there in the hills to go find Mimsy when she was running around drunk. That was number one, because Andy fucking ran me up and down a wall for it. Number two, Andy's concerns about me talking to Mimsy, about me trying to get information about who this guy might have been.
And so what you're going on record is telling us is saying that you did not disseminate any classified information about this case.
I don't know what you mean by that. I had conversations with people that I was trying to link links to. Yes, through my investigation.
And you can't tell me that you're not personally involved in this, like beyond being just a police officer.
Personally involved. I hunted this guy for 3 fucking years. Yeah, I'm personally involved. I mean,
You don't think you had a personal vendetta against the crow?
there were lapses.
Your judgment.
Yeah, there were lapses in judgment. Absolutely. For what happened to Julie's 3 years ago, yeah. For a moment in time, yeah, I wanted to put a bullet in him. 120%. Was I going to? No. I think everybody has that thought every once in a while of it would just be easier. But I wanted the truth. I didn't want revenge. If I wanted revenge, I would have put a bullet in his head the first time I met him. It was easy. If I really wanted to turn that page, I would have. I was doing what I thought was right.
Had you turned that page, we would be having a very different conversation.
Correct. We would. I had released or discussed information that I thought would be pertinent to gathering more information to aid our investigation. By talking to people that are on the street that have a lot more influence out there than what we do behind this fucking building. So the connections that I've made, I had utilized those connections to get information, to see if people could hear anything. And in order to try to get that information, I had to throw them some bones. Did I leak overly sensitive information? No. Did I say what was necessary that I felt was to get this guy before he hurt anybody else? That I thought was responsible for getting a knife in Julie's chest? That I thought was responsible for hearing her choke on her own fucking blood? What about my best friend Martinez? You know, another one of our fucking cops. Or Thorne. Did we all of a sudden forget about him?
I haven't forgot about Thorne.
Everything I do is for this job.
Jeff, look at it from our point of view. And you know how it is. We are high command in this city.
Well, then maybe it's just better if I just don't help you guys run this department. Maybe it's just better that I just... let somebody else take the O2. I did what I thought
You know,
I
that's
thought was
not
right.
what I want you to do. I didn't bring you into that position for you to tuck tail and run.
Tuck tail and run. You're benching me when we're so close to getting these fucks.
I don't see how we're that close. What do
We
we
know-
got that shows us that we're that close?
We know who they are. We know how they operate. We just have to find them. We have to get a trail, and we have to get on their ass. And when we get that trail, we don't stop until they fucking come down. I was trying to protect the people I care about.
I get it. I get it.
So maybe,
But
yeah,
we've
I blurred
had-
the lines a little bit. I admit it. I blurred the lines.
We're not allowed to blur lines.
Well,
I get
you
it,
know-
what you're trying to do. I get where you're trying to go, but we have to look at this from down the straight and narrow. Because what's going to happen? Look, let me tell you something. Let me just be real honest with you. The DA gets wind of this, and we're all up shit creek. The judge gets wind of this, we're all up shit creek. Because I mean, we've got people that are dead now. We're trying to catch this guy. How are we proving that he did this? Did we get any evidence off Thorne and his scene? No, because the casing that came back was his casing. So who is he shooting at? And why didn't they shoot back? Did they even have a gun?
No, they had a bunch of knives where they cut him up and put his fucking head on a fucking
Same
pedestal.
thing with freaking Matthew.
Matthew told me it was Chris. It was his handiwork. He did it to fucking Jules.
I can't lose more officers, Jeff, because we're being sloppy.
Since we're all holding everybody accountable, you know, maybe talking about CIs in front of medical staff. You can't look me in my eyes and tell me you haven't blurred the line either. We've all done it for the greater fucking good.
Just talked about CIs.
When we went to go talk to Mimsy, when we were thinking that we were going to hit Chris with a Rico,
Yeah, it was me, you, and Lilith standing there.
who was still in earshot still?
There was nobody standing at that gas station.
Nobody else.
Nobody else. It was just us four.
You sure?
Yeah, I got the body cam to prove it.
Because I'm pretty sure that Leela was there. Because I remember her getting out of the car and me getting her number right there.
Yeah, she was in the car.
Yeah. And at that point in time, she was a
You're right.
civilian.
You're right.
I'm not saying that I'm not wrong. If it comes down to it, I'll fall on the sword by myself.
Everybody's been through an IA investigation at some point. It's not the point. I don't want you sidelined for any longer than you have to be. But what I'm scared of, Jeff, is that this investigation is at risk because of the risks you took and the lines you crossed. Do you not agree? What's important? You getting what you want or getting this guy behind bars? Because it's not our job to decide who lives or dies. What? What, Jeff? Just open your mouth.
Oh my God.
I'm not taking your badge from you.
If you think what I wanted was to take his life, my badge would have been waiting for you on that desk.
I know that.
Okay.
It's not what I said.
You're hitting to as if I'm trying to I'm going beyond the fucking wire.
No. No, what I'm saying is that we put the case in jeopardy. Just like Morgan put freaking Santos's case in jeopardy when he didn't even charge him with the freaking crime. Because he let his emotions get a hold of him. And you know just as well as I do, that's exactly what happened with you. You let your emotions get involved and it got you in trouble.
And I got checked. I got checked. I got recentered. And that's why I've been so within my lane now.
We got to let this play out. This gives you a good break, at least a couple days. Don't put that thing on my desk because I don't want it. Jeff. Stop it. This is not about me arguing with you. I'm trying not. I'm trying to get through this. It's not easy for me. This is not easy for me. You are 100% pivotal in everything we do here. But we have to make sure we're doing what we're supposed to do because we have to make sure our case is solid. Right? Do you not disagree? Do you not disagree? If you're talking, we're not hearing you.
I did it for everybody. You can take that as an admission of guilt. Do what you want with it. I stand by every decision that I made.
Not about guilt or innocence. This is about making sure our case is solid. And yeah, I think Julie's pretty pissed off about it because she warned you. Weber, anything to add?
Every bit of information that I got, I shared. I didn't withhold anything.
How do you expect us to feel, man? How do you expect us to feel?
At this point, I don't know anymore.
Well, what would you do in my position? You tell me.
I don't know, Steele. That's why I don't run the department. I'd probably give me a chance to come clean about everything before you fucking send me off to stick a thumb up my ass. This is gonna drive me nuts. But
But what? I mean, this isn't about you running the department. This is about us having a conversation.
the conversation has already been had,
Okay.
right? You, as soon as I come in here, you tell me that I'm on the bench. You won't even tell me what the big concerns are because of this big investigation that you guys want to do. I have zero to hide. Absolutely nothing.
And that's the deeds I know.
Right.
And I'm not questioning that at all.
But you are, brother.
No,
That
I'm not questioning that at all. But we have to take time to an interview to ensure that all the information.
I told Bobby his name. I told Mimsy his name once I found it because I wanted to know how he fucking knew her. She sent me a fucking text message with his face and saying that she knew him. I told Bobby in a sort of emotional confusion because of the links between Julie and Mimsy. Half scared, half concerned, and half really fucking pissed off that my first ever partner withheld information from the entire department about an investigation that she was fully involved in for the past 3 fucking years. And she knew that what we were doing. She told me to stop. Did she tell you what his name was? When all this was happening?
I had to find out later.
Right. From me. Did you know that he was a cop? No, you didn't.
No, because he wasn't under me.
Right. Who told you that he was a cop?
You did.
Okay.
Look, it's not about
Everything that I found out, I have reported. I have an entire case file under the CID folders of what I found. Documented everything. Because I knew that this shit was going to come up. And everything that I found out, I told Lilith, I told Hondo when he got in the gang. I told you as much as I could. You weren't here. I didn't tell Andy or Jules anything because Andy didn't want to be a part of it, and Jules wasn't gang unit. This was a gang unit investigation because of his links with organized crime. I talked to Mimsy because she told me that she had a history with a crime family. I picked her brain. For 2 reasons. One, yes, personal, 100%, because I wanted to know who she was. And 2, because I could tell that, like, I could feel in my gut that there was some type of connection there. Ember was a slip up in the hills. Yeah. 100%. I shouldn't have told her his name. I talked to people to try to find different links throughout the city to figure out who they were talking to. In order to figure out certain links, you have to give some names every once in a while. Maybe I'm wrong for that. I can accept all the responsibility for it. I did it to make sure that we had the right information. Yes, there were some conversations with the Crow by myself after our escapades with the department because he wouldn't talk to me. Turns out I understand why. Because he thought that he was a hunted man and he was trying to set it straight. And I failed him. I failed a lot of fucking people. I'm just trying to make it right.
Give me a day. Give me a day. Is that going to put us that far behind?
Unless something happens tonight. Then if it does, then you guys handle it. Hopefully, I thought what I did was right. And I was wrong. And I've been reminded of that every fucking day here lately.
Cops go through on hunches all the time. Hunch is fine. I'm trying to keep people from stepping over the line.
I just towed it. I didn't step over it.
Trying to keep from going over the line.
Okay.
Okay.
This is what Chris wants too.
He's not dividing us. We're trying to get through. But we still have to follow our regulations.
Yep, we do.
And you know that. You know how this works, man. You know how this works, right?
Yep.
I wish I had better information. But we have to get to the bottom of this for the sake of the department, for the sake of this case. It's a big case. Like I said, if the DA or the judge gets a hold of this, it's my ass. I don't want to vent you. This is the last thing I want to do. You know, we talked earlier, and it was better, but you also felt like something was coming. I don't know what's coming. I wish I did. Because we can't have this dude terrorizing the streets, even though we kind of know who he's after. I think he got who he was after. He might be gone. He might have caught a flight out.
Need anything else from me?
Not as of this moment, Deets. Jeff, there may be more questions.
Yeah.
And I need to be able to reach you, okay?
Yep.
Don't take a vacation.
I'm not.
That went over like a fart in a diving helmet. Well, I mean, I think he told the truth. I mean, I really do. I don't think a lot of what he's talking about was intentional. I think it was just Deets talking. I get it.
None of
get
it
it.
was malicious.
No, I don't think so either. But right. Morningstar, what do you think?
I think I should be suspended too. Because I knew everything.
God damn. Who have you talked to and told stuff to?
I didn't tell nobody, but I knew about him talking to people. Because he tells me everything about his case.
And why didn't you bring it to me? Or Jack?
I don't know.
You don't know.
But I can't let him fall on the sword by himself.
Hey, can I come in?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello. Mimsy's in
your-
the detective division.
Was that your phone number that called me?
Yes, that was me, sir.
Okay,
I was
let
a
me-
little confused why she was in here. She came in here pretty distressed, saying that you said that Jeff wasn't okay, and she was really worried.
Pull your phone out real quick, Martin.
Yes, sir.
Send me yours if you don't mind.
Yes, sir.
I need to be able to reach you if I need you.
Not a problem, sir.
Alright.
Everything okay?
No, not really. Just lost number 2.
Is he
Freaking about
is
ready
he
to lose
suspended?
number 1.
Weber? Okay, does he have any equipment on him or anything they shouldn't have? Okay. All right. Sounds good. Would you like me to bring Miss Falcone in here? Okay. Do you want to talk to me or? Yeah, but I mean, what do you want to know, boss? I mean, I can give you a brief rundown if you'd like to let you think about it overnight, and then we can do it again tomorrow. Just to give you something to work off of. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'll look into it. Okay. Yeah. Yep. If you, what do you want to know everything about that? I know about the crow and everything too. You want it all? Okay. All right. Okay. Still, do you want me here for this?
I mean, it doesn't matter. You're involved anyway.
Okay. Yeah, you just tell me what you need me to do, boss.
Ask questions.
You want me to
So-
ask?
Miss Mimsy, it's come to our attention that Officer Dietz has let some information slide that was not known to the public concerning this Crow case, and you are the closest person to him.
Okay.
So, I know this is not going to be easy to hear. This is not easy for me to say. Excuse me. We have put Jeff on administrative leave until we can complete this investigation.
Okay, isn't that something that maybe he should have told me that you guys don't really need to tell me? But I got you. Okay, though?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Is he okay?
Well, I mean, how do you think he took it?
Yeah, I just want to make sure he's okay. You said no to me in a text message, and I was fucking fuming.
No, I said stand by.
No. I said, is Dietz okay? You said no. Don't talk to him.
No, he's not okay. He's not
That's
okay.
what I mean.
And I asked you not to discuss anything with him until I have a chance to talk to you first. He's upset. That's what I mean by Dietz.
Rightfully
He's
so.
not dead. He's not hurt, even though he's probably hurt a little here and there, but not physically. But you know how Dietz is. He's very emotional when it comes to these things.
Understand.
And that's part of our problem. Part of our problem is that he's emotionally involved in this case. And you know just as well as I do that with him being emotionally involved in this case, we have to worry about the validity of the case. We've got a suspect that we're trying to apprehend, and it seems like there is information being released to different members of the public that he probably should not have released. So, in your own words, we kind of need to know what he discussed with you.
I don't really remember a lot of it, but I mean, I can't even tell you what he told me that I didn't already know. Because, I mean, I knew that the Crow was in town and was a murderer before Dietz even started talking to me. Because the Vagos, and they told me to watch myself around that person because that person had been commenting on my birthday posts. As for his name, he didn't have to tell me his name. I knew his fucking name.
Any of the details that he's given you?
I mean, he's told me that Matthew died, and he also, obviously, you guys haven't done anything, but that's cool. Like, whatever.
What do you mean we haven't done anything about it?
Well, the person's still running around, aren't they?
Yeah,
Because he wouldn't
been trying to chase
anything
him?
about it and told me he could only tell me after everything has been done and after the person has been caught and put in jail. And obviously, I haven't gotten any information on who killed my ex-husband, so obviously, you guys haven't done anything about it.
I understand why you're upset. However, police work is not a fast process, unfortunately. We are working on finding him. We are working on bringing him to justice. We know who did the murdering here. And by telling us that we're not doing anything shows that a lot you don't know about police work.
No, there's not. I don't know a lot about police work. All I
I'm
know
not-
is
I'm not trying to.
basically just benched your best person on it because he at least was dedicated into finding who it was. But that is what it is. I understand he needs time to develop because it does take a toll on him. I can see that. I've been there after hours making sure that he's okay and, not so stressed out.
But this
So
is
I
the
understand.
problem. This is the problem that we have to deal with. That we're trying to get the bottom of. I'm 100% in support of everything you do off duty for him. 100%. Don't get me wrong. I have to be the chief with this uniform on. And the fact is that we can't have him as a member of my high command or any high command giving information out on classified cases or cases that are sensitive to the public. We can't have him just talking about it.
I understand that.
And
I understood that from the
he knows
beginning.
the training, and he knows the training, because our training is that we can't talk about things. So I get you're upset. I'm doing the best I can to try to solve this problem from both angles. Look, Dietz is my friend too.
Yeah, I get all
Jeff
that.
and I have known each other combined in this room. We've known each other for freaking longer than you've probably been alive, young lady.
Surprise you, but
Trust me, you're not as old as I am. So the fact is that we have to make sure our case is solid and airtight, or Chris, what's his name, walks free. And when I wear this uniform, I have to put that first. I have to put my
Get all that.
feelings aside for Dietz.
Steele, I get it.
great
You're
friend.
good. Stop. Just you're going in circles here. I get it all. I don't mean to be a bitch, but I get it all. You have questions for me or you don't. I don't know what he said. My memory is shit for the most part. I got into an accident and I haven't had the greatest memory since. I have also been very distracted. You can thank Dietz for that. The last thing I remember us talking about was when he told me about Matthew passing. And he wouldn't give me any information in any way. He said he was not allowed to until the investigation was over and justice had been. That is all I remember. Everything else is a fucking blur.
Chief, I have a question.
Please. She's tired of hearing me talk.
Miss Falcone,
Mr. Martin?
I'm going to ask you a couple questions, and I just need you to tell me the best possible answer of what you remember, okay?
Okay.
When it comes to information that you know, does anyone else know what is going on?
Like, did I say anything to anybody?
You or Jeff? Like, okay, I'm gonna get a little personal here. Why are there other individuals just besides yourself that are involved?
The only other one I really know that would technically be involved is Ember, and that is when my ex showed up, she was with me when I was drunk, when I found out who it was. And I told her about him from my perspective, not from your case, but from who I know him to be. So she knows that my ex-husband was in town, and it made it a little awkward being with Dietz when he showed up.
Has Jeff ever talked to you outside of this precinct about the case?
We talked when I got back from speaking with Matthew.
When I
but
was
you
up
guys
in
were all there.
Vinewood, Miss Ember was there sitting behind your car, and you and Deets were having a conversation. I don't mean to seem nosy at all, but was any of that conversation involving the investigation?
He was showing me the house that was bookmarked in his tablet. He was going to buy it for me. And I told him I'm going to take my house from underneath me. I was going to do it myself.
So just to reiterate, there was no information about the investigation that was told to you
Not that
at that moment.
remember.
Has he told you anything in the past month about the investigation?
I mean, just what you guys know. Like I said, he talked to me when he asked me about Matthew. That I knew who it was. He asked me about who he was. And I gave him the lowdown of the person that I knew.
Did he ask you these questions on duty or off duty? Let me rephrase. Was he in uniform?
Because that was when I was drunk.
Okay. This is when you were up in Vinewood Boulevard after the funeral. Is that correct?
Yes.
Does Bobby Reginald know anything about this?
I do not know. I know Bobby knows a little bit in the sense of he was trying to stop me from going to Matthew. But that's all I know he knows.
So any information that you have gathered from this investigation, if at any, was it from Jeff Deets?
Anything
Relating to it? Any questions? Anything that relates to the investigation?
Deets is the only person who talked to me or asked me questions. But like I said, a lot of the information on what was involved and what had happened, I already knew from before.
And he hasn't talked to you about this off duty? You guys went and hung out or anything? He has never mentioned it or brought it up or talked to you about it?
I mean, the first time he was off duty and talked to me about anything relating with the crow, he told me the whole story.
What was that story?
Like how the crow came to be and what happened to Jules way back when and all of that,
Okay.
all the past stuff.
Okay.
He told me that whole story, I think in a hopes that I would steer clear of him.
Would you say that his emotions kind of were driving that story? Were kind of driving that?
No, I think he was just informing me of the person I was asking. We were getting to know each other, like.
Okay.
And this was something that was big that kind of came into the city.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked about it, and he told me the past story.
Okay. I don't have any more questions.
Weber?
MZ, I appreciate you coming up here.
Yeah, thank you for your time. I do appreciate it. I know it's difficult. We're not trying to. I don't want to put Deets in a rough position or hurt him in any way. You know that. He's not fired. He's not. We're not losing him. Not losing his position. We just needed him to take a step back and breathe.
Still, I have a question.
Yeah.
Mimsy, has he ever brought up Julie in a different sense besides just the past?
What do you mean?
Has he brought up maybe a conversation that was maybe kind of hard to talk about, or maybe that he was aggravated about?
Not really. I know that she went missing, and I know kind of overheard you guys talking about it, that he had talked to her beforehand, but that's all I know.
Do you know?
I don't discussed.
You don't know why she went missing?
Not overly, just everyone blamed him. That's all I remember.
I didn't blame him at all.
I did.
Well, those involved. that were actually there.
I'll admit it, I
blamed
did.
him.
I did. I'll blame it. I'll say it 100%, sir. That was I did.
I do not know the conversation that him and Jules had. I just know
Excuse
that
me.
they had a conversation, that you guys were all pissed at him for having said conversation. I know that's what you guys told me. Well, I was standing there when I overheard all that.
Okay.
You guys were talking about it.
Right, and you were in the station, right, with Miss Ember? Is that correct?
Yes, we were. That was after when I was drunk, and Ember didn't leave me alone, and that's when he picked us up, and then he went off duty and we left because I needed some TLC, and he went off duty for the night.
What do you remember from the airport up in Sandy?
I just remember him racing up there. I remember Thorn was there, you were there, you guys were pissed off at him, and Thorn wanted to know what happened. You guys said that Deets yelled at Jules, and then you guys were going to get Jules and try and find her, and I was told
Can I ask
that
a rough
I was
question?
not allowed to go.
Can I ask you a tough question? And I don't mean this in any disrespect and or a rude manner.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you had any right to be there at the Sandy Shores Airport?
I didn't even know we were going there.
Okay.
He was off duty. We were talking. I think he was going off, and then someone said something about that or something like that, and he took off.
Okay. Alrighty. Well,
I did not mean to be there in the first
No.
chance when you said that I shouldn't have been there.
I was just being honest, Miss Falcon.
I understand, and I told Bob. I told him I would get someone to pick me up, and he called Bobby and told Bobby to come pick me up. You guys left.
Did you tell Bobby anything that happened?
No,
Okay. Well,
because Bobby was not in a mental space to handle anything, so I wasn't going to vent to a friend that was not in a space to handle my venting.
I understand. Miss Falcon, we appreciate you coming up here to the precinct. If you gentlemen and lady don't have any questions,
Yeah, I'm good as long as Weber doesn't have anything.
good Web. Morningstar, you good?
She's
I'll take
not
that as a yes.
participating. She's not participating in this investigation.
Okay. Let me give you these back. Oh God. Oh, come over here. There you go.
Thank you.
Walking her out, please.
I was gonna chat with you while someone was. Well, Lilith, can you walk her out? Thank you, ma'am. Miss Falcone, I appreciate it.
Thank you, Sadie.
Yep, thank you.
Thank
Mr.
you,
Mark.
Mimsy.
Jeez Louise, Steele.
Cannot believe I know she's not Sadie. Holy fuck.
I'm just gonna say this. The way that she overheard conversations, the way that she had friends there present to said situations when they didn't need to be. She didn't have to go to the airport. Jeff could have dropped her off. 100%. Not a doubt in my mind. He could have said, hey, I got to go deal with something that's kind of work related. I'll come pick you up after. He didn't need to bring her. I don't get that. I mean, you guys, well, you know, Steele, you know me. Weber, you've kind of gotten to know me a little bit. I'm very honest, and I have a big heart, and I care for people. I just think his emotions are getting to him, and I think he's making rash decisions that he doesn't need to make. I think Dietz is a good officer. He's great at his job. But I think he hyper fixates on something when it needs to be figured out, that he knows it's going to take time, but he tries to whittle it down as soon as possible. Every day it's just the same shit over and over and over again. There's no patrolling or going to do radar or any of that.
Well, we were at that point tonight because we had a conversation and he told me, he said it's too blah because He's just waiting for them to come get him.
I also want to say that there was information that was said that I don't know should have been said.
Like,
Well,
I mean, that's
boss, I don't want to sound rude.
That's the reason why we're standing here.
Okay, you told her who killed Matthew.
I didn't.
You said it was boss. I'm standing right here, dude. You said that Chris killed him. Chris something. I mean, you literally told her.
She knew it already. It wasn't surprising. You saw her reaction. Yeah. He's the one that told her.
So who told her then?
Deets. Because it was not a surprise to her.
Yeah, her
At
facial
all.
expression didn't change much. nor
Did
her
not
tone of
change a
voice.
bit. Voice never cracked. And for somebody with a bad memory, she remembered a lot.
I agree. I don't want to
She got it.
sound conspicuous, but I don't think she's telling us everything. And Mimsy's a great person. They have a relationship where, I mean, you have to decide whether you say it all or say nothing. And I felt like we didn't really get a whole lot. I feel like we got the nothing end of that stick, you know?
Yeah.
I've already told you guys everything that I know. Jeff has told me personally that he has confided in those 3 individuals. They know information, whether they want to tell
You're
us or
talking
not.
about Mimsy. You're
Mimsy,
talking
Ember,
about Ember
and Bobby
and
Reginald.
Bobby Reginald.
I know that for a fact. I chewed his ass out in the fucking precinct. I know that he did.
Yeah.
I think we also all know Julie, and Julie's not a one person to fucking lie about anything.
No, I know Julie was just like that too.
Whether she didn't know it was Chris or not, that could be a problem. The last thing we need is a vigilante. Matter of fact, more than one. We don't want a whole fucking posse of vigilantes going out trying to find this Chris guy. It's the last thing we need. Obviously, you guys know what I'm going to say. We just got to keep our mouth shut. We got to do our shit that we need to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what else to do at this point other than talk to them too.
Because what if she actually just didn't know and she was waiting for you to say it, Steel? What if she was just waiting?
She wasn't. She wasn't. You can tell by the look on her face. No
That's
way.
true.
There's no way. I'm not even.
Look, I love Jeff like a brother, okay? I want what's best for him. But I completely agree. I don't think that Jeff should be on this case. Unless SWAT is activated for a breach. He's not a GIU member. Or whatever. Is he GIU and SWAT? I don't know what the fuck he is half the time.
High command is kind of across the board.
Okay, well then he shouldn't be a part of GIU. That's just my personal opinion. Obviously, I'm just a sergeant. I can't really make that decision or anything.
Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one and they all stink.
True. SWAT, on the other hand, if he needs to do a breach and clear, whatever. The only problem is if you think his emotions are going to get over him in the breach and clear, and if he sees his face and he just shoots him, he has to be held accountable for that. It is the matter of the fact that we need just to do our job, keep it within these fucking doors, and do it by the book. And I appreciate
We're doing the best
you.
we can.
I appreciate you 3 letting me be here and voicing my opinion and hearing and understanding and even asking questions. That means a lot. It shows that you guys, have faith and trust me, and I appreciate that. I'm gonna get back out there on the streets and or take some time off, whatever the case may be. It's getting late.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this as a person. I love all three of you professionally. All three of you are fucking amazing. I appreciate y'all for doing the good work that you do. And if you guys have any problems, I'm always here to talk. Always. Weber, I'll meet you tomorrow for my statement.
I agree.
I will let you know everything from tip to toe about the Crow, whatever you want to know. I will tell you this. Back a couple years ago, I did go off duty and I went after him in a more civil manner off duty. I will state that now. I did my own investigation off duty. And I will let you know everything that I found. I will give you notes, journals. I have it all at my house. It's old evidence, but it's good evidence. If you guys need anything from me, please let me know, okay?
I will.
Understood. Gentlemen, ma'am, it was a pleasure. We'll catch you guys back out there. Stay safe, all right? Thanks.
This is hard and this hurts. I think we're closing in on it, and Lilith, what are your thoughts? I know you're trying to stay out of it, but you're assistant chief. Sometimes you gotta look above.
I don't think there was no malice intent.
I don't think there was either, but the fact it happened.
And I wasn't there when he talked to them. Give me a second. Like I said, I wasn't there when he talked. But as far as I know, he was on duty. And when I found out he was talking outside the precinct, I told him he needs to bring him to the precinct. Talk to him in the precinct. That way he can use the recording equipment in the precinct, in the interrogation room. After that, he started bringing them into the interrogation room and talking to them. Like that day we were off duty, we found Jules. Boonsky was active on duty in uniform. I had him requesting Julie and he recorded everything. Yes, I agree. He pushed the lines.
Not only that, we have to look at the fact that, you know, he's not a detective. If GIU is going to investigate crimes, especially homicides, what's the point of having a detective division?
I guess the thought process was is cartel. Cartel falls under GIU investigation.
And I know that's what it is.
Because it's something that we might have to go undercover for, black out with, tactical response. Most detectives are not trained in TAC. Cartels are serious. They're just as tactical as we are.
Well, the only exception, the only real exception in all of this is that, you know, high command can, we're kind of across the board because we have to supervise everything. And that's where he sits.
And what you were saying, Weber, GIU and SWAT are not technically together. It's just part of my requirements for GIU personnel to be SWAT qualified, to be tactically trained. Because I don't want a team going into a known, you know, gang area or cartel location, a mafia location, and not having tactical training. I agree, and that's why I told him that day I spoke to him. It was me, Hondo, Spears, Olivia, and we all pulled him aside and talked to him about that. It was like, you need to start getting everyone involved, just not me and UD. He did. He come to me. He told me I needed to talk to Deep. I needed to get Deep set straight. And I did my job the best I could and set Deep straight that night.
I think some of it was while you were on vacation.
Yeah. A lot of this happened while you were on vacation, Robert. If I didn't want you involved, I wouldn't have recommended you for the position you're in.
Well, and I don't get to recuse myself from the investigation, unfortunately. Even though Dietz and I go way back.
I'll be here for, to get my side, but I don't want nobody saying it was a conflict of interest. Because I know that's what they're going to say. Because they know how close me and Deets are. For God's sakes, Deets gave me my final fucking call when he thought I was dead. That's how close me and Deets are. Which I don't think you knew that, Weber, but I did take my dad.
Yeah,
Protect
me and
those I
Deets
cared about.
ran together for a long time. Me and Thorn ran together for a long time. And not only are we dealing with Deets, we have to deal with Thorn's funeral. And I haven't talked to his. Apparently, there's his brother. He's got a brother in city somewhere.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Deets told me guy's name is like Robert or something. And
I know Julie's brother approached me last night while I was running traffic at Legion and asked about her.
and I'm thinking that that he's probably the stem of a lot of this. I think he's pissed off at Deets because he thinks Julie got taken because of him, and Thorn got killed because of him.
I think a lot of emotions from a lot of people are involved in that. That's not deep.
Yeah, I know, but what? So this is my thing. So I think they are. I think what we're getting is we're getting somebody who's pissed off at Deets and could be trying to railroad him. And that person could be Julie's brother.
Because I'll be honest with you guys, if you haven't noticed, I haven't been myself for like the last couple weeks.
No
All this has
shit.
brought back a lot of fucking emotion, a lot of my path. So I'll be the first to admit I've been letting my emotions get the best of me. Which has in return caused what am I looking for, the word? Turmoil between me and Olivia.
Yeah, and she's not been on duty in a while. I mean, I know she was on duty earlier. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. But let's keep in mind, we still have a police department of 60 some odd officers to run. Yeah, you saw that too.
That's Thorn's brother. I'm guessing. But whatever's said here stays here. I know Deets. I know Deets is going to approach me. He's going to ask me.
Go to Mimsy, or Mimsy's going to go to him and say they called me in the carpet. And I know because we are able to get Mimsy in here to have a conversation that I know that we're not going to be able to get Bobby in here to have a conversation without him knowing what's coming.
I can get Bobby in here.
Bobby's going to have a heads up, trust me. I'm sure Mimsy and Deets have already given him a heads up.
Me and Bobby have a good repertoire. I can get him in
Well,
here.
me too. I mean, I know Bobby very well, but he was one of my officers. But the same thing with Ember. I don't know Ember at all.
As much as I hate to say it, we need to ask Ember if Stark's been telling her anything.
Yeah, and I haven't seen the start. I know he was in yesterday, but
Not saying he would.
I haven't been able to talk to him.
This is me not thinking of people as friends. It's me thinking of the job.
Yeah, I know. And that's what we have to do. We have to put our friendships and our emotions aside, because none of it's gonna work out right and fix it until then.
And still, with what I told you, if you have to suspend me, I understand. Because I didn't know these were talking. And I never come to nobody about that.
I'm not suspending you. I didn't want to suspend Dietz. I don't know any other way. I don't know any other way to. It's not that I want him to back off the case. I need him to not go out on his own like he did with the crow. And that's what I'm afraid is going to happen.
I don't want to repeat a thorn.
But worst case scenario, I need you there because you're the one that calms him down. You need to go. You need to go find him. It doesn't look like there's anything else we can do tonight. Thoughts, concerns, comments? Ten four. Yeah, I'm right behind you. Thank you.
Thank you for your service. Have a good night.